Geraldine Rose here with a giveaway card from the giveaway that I got from Sunbird Sparks. All right, let's give a shout out everybody to Sunbird Spark. They recently had an Instagram and blog hop contest for their new release. I was lucky. I won the big bundle and I chose the Flourish Boldly package, which has the press plate, it has the stamps, it had the stencils. I didn't get the die set, and then I also got the embossing folder, the Deco Art Elegance embossing folder, which was just gorgeous. I wanted to use the press plate first because you know I love those. So you can see I put it down on my glimmer. I tried it out with the rainbow foil and I tried it out with the aura foil. This particular one, I'm going to go with the rainbow because I thought I could start using the stencils and blending the colors in a rainbow aspect. So this one has got 10 stencils in the package. They're actually a really good thick quality. I like the fact that they don't have the other parts of the stencil jammed up against it so that you don't have to worry about masking off ones and getting it onto your next portion. So yes, there are 10, but it works actually in your favor. So you can see what I'm doing is I've got my array of rainbow inks there with the brushes for each of them. I'm going through in turn. The stencils are fabulous that with the numbers up at the top, 1 of 10, 6 of 10. And of course, the style that is also denoted on there and which company it is. So very impressed with this part. As I said, I didn't have the die set, but I just fussy cut it out because this one is easy enough to do other than the little gypsophilia or whatever other small flowers they are. But we got her done. We got her done. So I'm going to ink smoosh the back panel. I'm starting out with my yellows because if you start out with your lighter colors, you can lay them down, and if you start it with the dark, then sometimes your lighter colors get buried, right? So smooshing them, drying, smooshing them, drying, building it up. If you put wet on wet, it's going to blend. If you put wet on dry, that's where you get the ink splashes. So that's what we wanted on this, was with the ink splashes. And at the end, where I've got, a hard gradient on this coming down, so the yellow, the light green, and then the darker green, you could actually stop with that panel and use it that way if that's what you wanted. It would make a good spring panel, a good garden flower panel. But me being me, I wanted to do more. And by the way, that's why you always have your lid on your bottles, because you just might tip them over, and that would have been mica spray all over everything. I've got the mica out. I smooshed it in first, and then I tapped her on. This is the folder. This is the Art Deco Elegance folder. Do you see that they have actually got the tabs for the A2 sizes marked in the corners? How fabulous is that? I found that like game changer, just for like, yay, I can set it up without worrying side to side that everything's in the right spot. I've got this panel now down on my Make Art. I've got my fanfare stencil taped down over top of it, magneted down, and the sides are masked off with the tape. I am using the Altenew embossing paste and the lunar paste on that. And the lunar paste, you can see that I put them on either side of where I knew that I was putting my stenciled flowers. So I'm just distressing the edge there by roughing it up with my scissors and then tearing chunks out of it. It is heavy watercolor stock, so it took it well. Now I thought that, okay, for my sentiment, I would use some of my leftover aura and use my solid plate to foil it. And this is good that I muted this out because I was very unladylike at that particular moment in time. So I die cut out the Hey Love die set out of that, and then I refoiled it. So this is, I'm running it through again, and then I got out the gold metallic, and I thought, okay, it still didn't turn out very good, the other one with the foiling, so I'll put it in the background. The metallic paper I placed upside down on my cutting plates, and I ran it through again. You can see it gives it a little bit of texture, and I like that because we have a glitter grunge card, and I wanted the sentiment to match, not having something that's just like super shiny and pristine and clean up on the top, right? We'll do a little ink blending around the edges to even it up. I have 2 corners that are not distressed, and I have the other 2 corners that are. So the ones that were clean, I left alone. And this is where I had also poked holes through it with the scissors because I was like, let's make it look like ratty jeans, right? I wanted a different color to show through on the background, so I, as you saw, cut out some little yellow and put it on the back. Now, these are the stamps that come in that package from Flourish Boldly. I also used one from Crafter's Companion, Born to Shop, which I just got in my recent Simon's Huntington's charity crafty box. I thought, well, let's give that a try. So you can see I'm doing different tones of the yellows and the greens through there. Custom stamp on the back that I get from Scrap and Stamp in Vancouver. They did have them several years previously. I don't know if they still will this year. And then because it's glitter grunge, we're going to get out the old sewing machine. And we're going to go back and forth changing the width of the stitches and the type of the stitches. I find with this thicker paper that my old machine, it gets through best on either a straight stitch or the zigzag. Oh, I used the metallic thread from Altenew for that. I just wound some around a bobbin, plunked her down in the bottom, and put the other part up on the top and threaded it, and it worked like a charm. On the back, because this is watercolor and it's been embossed, it's been wetted, I am using the ultra sticky tape to get it set down. We'll have a little wiggle room with the glue, and it's very good that we did this, because do you see what I'm going to do here? Yeah, I put the panel on upside down. Gee, it's magically fixed. That's because I very carefully wiggled it off. I only put minimal damage on the inside of the card, but it is set into place, and I thought it was missing something. So here I'm trying out some of the last of my rainbow cardstock. I am going to use the Altenew Rustling Leaves die set for this. I thought, okay, I can tuck some at the top and tuck some down at the bottom, and that will extend that rainbow theme that we've got happening. Then I ran this portion through the embossing folder for that set, got out the Cartabella Harvest Branches die set. They've got nice little ones, and did those in other metallics. The Strawberry Shortcake Confetti was also something that I got out of that charity box. And of course we have to have splatter. We have to have the splatter along with the bling bling. So this is the Kurtaki, that's the gold mica ink. Just getting out my little fan brush, and you can see that I've ripped a portion out of a paper towel for the inside. And because we do the complete package, yes, I got out an envelope as well too. This first one, I should have done this in a darker green. It didn't quite show up, so I thought, okay, well, I'll just go in with some ink smooshing and splatters. I also pulled out the Simon Says stamp, the Good Mail stamp set. I think that one was a Kathy Zilski. Used that for the sentiments on the back of that envelope. We'll give the postal people a little bit of fun too, right? Here's the spluttering going down and the smooshing going down. And then, of course, putting the ink around the edges, going down. So it's like, what do we got? Oh, of course, we're going to throw some shimmer spray on there too. Just tapping that on as well. I let it dry. Then I ran it through my cutting plates face side down because I wanted that same texture on it. It looks like linen when it comes out. I got out one of my custom stamps just to use the Geraldine Rose portion. And that is the finished card, finally. Thanks for bearing with me. And the fact that I'm trying to get 1 or 2 videos out a week, but I am also hosting a hop right now, everybody. September 30th, YouTube hop. We're going to have giveaways. You all be that change you want to see in the world. This is going off to California, so that's my change. Thanks for subbing and liking. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.